Republican Party developing a new image. We heard a lot of non-traditional GOP topics discussed last night.
As president, my father will change the labor laws that were put in place at a time when women were not a significant portion of the workforce. At my father's company, there are more female than male executives. Women are paid equally for the work that we do, and when a woman becomes a mother, she is supported, not shut out.
As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology.
I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American.
Joining me now, Brad Blakeman, former Bush 43 senior staffer, and Kristin Tate from the libertarianchick.com. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Kristin, let me start with you. I mean, it felt like and sounded like a much bigger tent last night. We heard a lot of themes that you don't normally hear at a Republican convention. When you looked at the reaction on social media, there were a lot of people who said, finally, thank goodness. You know, I mean, for Donald Trump to reach out and say LGBTQ when that wasn't included in the platform, and a lot of people made that note that he went off script to do that, seemed inclusive. What's your reaction?
Oh, I agree. Look, the GOP had to change or else the GOP was going to die. And Trump is kind of leading the charge in that way. Harping on things like traditional marriage and the sanctity of life, that is not going to broaden the Republican tent. Trump is kind of shifting the focus of the party to things like protecting Americans from terrorism, to bringing jobs back, and even LGBT rights. I mean, that would have been unheard of at an RNC just 4 years ago. And by shifting the tone, Trump is really making the GOP more palatable to other groups, like the LGBT community. I thought it was a beautiful moment when he thanked the audience for hearing for rights.
We want to hang on. We want to let Brad get in here before we run out of time. I'm not sure we want to lump the sanctity of life into that conversation that we just had there, because I think that's in a different group. That is obviously a major tentpole of the Republican Party, kind of one step at a time type thing. I mean, that's a very closely held belief. Brad, what was your reaction last night? Was it a bridge too far? And did it violate a lot of the basic tenets of people that are in the Republican Party?
Well, you know, the Democrats like to think we live in a teepee, but we live in a Big Ten. And I was very proud of the RNC and also our speaker lineup. It showed the breadth and scope of our party. And the fact is, you can be a member of the RNC, you can be a member of your local Republican club and not believe in every part of the platform. That's part of being a Republican. There are some parts of the platform I disagree with. The good news is I agree with a vast majority of the platform. So Donald Trump, by being the standard bearer of the party, saying it's okay to differ with certain platforms contained in the platform is fine. It sends a good message. And if anything, it showed people who are not Republicans that certainly maybe want to come in the tent.
There is that question of, you know, are you accused of being hypocritical if you don't agree with everything that's in there, or are you just saying, I don't agree with everything, but on the whole, I like this better than the other? It's an interesting conversation going forward. I wish we had more time. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
David.